Criminal charges formally filed in a Morrill County fatal drunk driving crash. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, a September 17th preliminary hearing has been set for a Bridgeport man on charges stemming from a two-vehicle crash in July that claimed the life of his brother. 27-year-old Trey Brown made an initial appearance in Morrill County Court on Wednesday on charges of motor vehicle homicide and manslaughter, as well as misdemeanor charges of DUI first offense, negligent child abuse without injury, and engaging in a speed contest. Authorities say Brown was behind the wheel of a car traveling at a high rate of speed on Highway 92 east of Bridgeport, along with a pickup driven by his brother, 21-year-old Joshua Brown, early on July 3rd, and hit the pickup from behind. The officer said he found disabling damage on the front of Trey Brown's vehicle, multiple empty and broken alcohol containers on the roadway and around both vehicles, and Trey Brown said his son was in the car at the time. Charges were filed in the case on July 31st following completion of the crash investigation after Trey Brown posted bond of 10% of $30,000. Bond was continued by Judge Paul West during the initial court proceeding, setting a date for a preliminary hearing. Well, Nebraska lawmakers have advanced a compromise package to soften the impact of local property tax increases, preserve tax incentives for businesses, and commit as much as $300 million in state money to a proposed disaster response facility in Omaha. The measure won first-round approval on Wednesday, just days before this year's legislative session is scheduled to end. Lawmakers struck the last-minute deal, even though a lot of them said they didn't like much of the package, and others complained that it was being rushed through the legislature. Bayard Senator Steve Erdman says he has the answer going forward.
And we need to revamp our whole tax system. And our whole tax system needs to start with a consumption tax, one flat rate, eliminate property tax in its entirety, income tax, inheritance tax, and sales tax. One flat consumption tax rate. It is the answer. It is the solution.
The tax portion would only slow the rates of increases for some homeowners, farmers, and business owners. Well, coming up after the break, going to be some hot weather across the region tomorrow. The Lawyers got your Thursday evening forecast right after this on KNEB.TV News.
Local lending. We're here for you from start to finish. Keeping money in our economy. Supporting local jobs. Giving back to our community. Investing in entrepreneurship. Making our quiet towns a destination. At Platte Valley Bank, we support local because we are local.
At Elite Physical Therapy, we provide preventative and rehabilitative treatments that maximize function and promote well-being for patients of all ages. With 2 locations in Scottsbluff and Gearing, we offer the convenience of you choosing your location with the same great services no matter where you go. Stop into one of our locations today, in Scottsbluff at 214 West 27th Street or in Gearing at 10th and M Street, and see what Elite Physical Therapy can do for you. Treatment you need and care you deserve.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
Well, as we look across the region over the next several hours, we can expect partly to mostly cloudy skies, then clearing off overnight. Temps going to fall down into the upper 50s to near 60 degrees as we get towards sunrise tomorrow. Otherwise, we should see storms coming to an end. Could see a couple of those early. It's going to be turning hot tomorrow, and we're going to go right past warm into hot. Storm chances will decrease through the weekend. It's going to be really warm to hot for most of next week. as we look forward to the next several days. In fact, the next couple of weeks look like they're going to be warm here across the High Plains. Yesterday hit 93 for a high after a morning low of 57. Those pretty close to the normals. See, that record high was 102. We are going to flirt with that tomorrow. Nothing in the rain gauge yesterday, still nothing for the month. We're 1/4 of an inch shy for the month and 4 1/4 inches shy for the year. Well, as I talked about long term, as we go forward into the next several weeks, or several days anyway, the next 8 to 14 days, this is the next 1 to 2 week outlook for what we expect temperatures to be in the 8 to 14 day time frame. As you see here in our area, it is much above normal. Very high chances of above normal temperatures, really for most of the region, but this area shaded in the red, that is the area where we expect there to be even higher chances of there being some of the above normal temperatures, even across most of the region. But all of this, very good chances of seeing above normal temperatures for the 8 to 14 day period. And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to remain dry in a big part of the country, including all of our areas. Best chances of seeing that below normal precip over the next 8 to 14 days going to be off to our area and points to the south. But it certainly doesn't look like a prolonged period of precip coming, nor do we see anything in the way of cooling off temperatures for the next couple of weeks. Temperatures in the 80s to low 90s here across the region. You can see a scattering of some cooler temperatures across the area. That's where we've got a few showers that move through the region. Not a ton of them, but a couple of isolated showers have moved through, and those have produced some gustier winds with them as well. Outside of those winds, it is fairly calm here across the region. Again, our severe weather threat as we go into the evening hours tonight, marginal across the region, not as high as yesterday. We don't expect there to be a high chance of severe weather at all. Now, tomorrow, that pushes off to the north and east of us. But as we go into Saturday right now, some of the forecast models trying to bring back a little better chance of severe weather here in the region. I certainly don't think we're going to have widespread severe weather, and it doesn't look like widespread thunderstorm coverage on Saturday, but certainly a chance of some more severe weather returns to the forecast for Saturday. Speaking of the forecast, Futurecast pushes those showers and storms off to the east. They will clear over the next couple of hours, and skies will clear overnight. Lows are going to fall down into the upper 50s and near 60 degrees again across the region as a very comfortable night. Pretty much a broken record of where we've been for temperatures each and every morning. Tomorrow, though, you'll notice a pattern change. We don't see much in the way of any afternoon clouds building, really, or thunderstorm activity. Anything tomorrow will be super isolated at best. In fact, we're going to put really no chance of precip here in the forecast for tomorrow for us, but temps are going to climb. We're going to jump right up into the upper 90s and low 100s here across the region tomorrow. These will be close to record highs in many locations. Models right now showing that tomorrow probably going to be our warmest day of the next 7, and unfortunately precip going to be limited. You can see a couple of areas that is trying to pick up a little bit heavier rain, especially off to the south and east of us. But outside of that, most of us are going to stay dry. As we take a look at our forecast then for tonight, a storm or two early. Those will clear, and it will clear out as well, turning mainly clear after then. Lows dipping down to near 59 tomorrow. A baking sun out there, 101. That'll put us near a record tomorrow. We will have some breezes out of the northwest that might help it feel a little cooler at 10 to 20 miles an hour, but it is going to be just downright hot tomorrow, and really not any relief in for the weekend. Upper 90s both Saturday and Sunday. Again, we've got about a 20% chance of some showers and storms on Saturday. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Could be a day that we may have to increase thunderstorm chances a bit. Monday looks like we'll be a little cooler, back into the upper 80s, only to get back into the mid-90s Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday again of next week.
At 21st Century Equipment, we're proud to introduce the new Build Your Own tool. Build the John Deere you've been wanting and see how affordable it really is. Visit 21stcenturyequipment.net to build your own compact utility tractor, mower, or gator. It's easy to add implements, attachments, and view financing options. Build the exact tractor for your needs at a price you can afford, all from the comfort and safety of home.
At TC & More in Scotts Bluff, we believe it's the little things that make your house a home. Start with home decor. Brighten up any room in your house with flags, wall decorations, and custom art pieces. Next, brighten up your wardrobe with clothing and accessories like jewelry and purses from the Myra collection. And remember, seniors and military members receive an additional 10% discount. Visit our website, tcandmore.com, and like us on Facebook, TC and More, 1621 Broadway, beautiful downtown Scottsbluff.
Welcome back. Unified Command announcing 3 new COVID-19 cases in the Panhandle and 14 new recoveries during their Wednesday afternoon briefing. The latest cases are all in Scottsbluff County, and all 3 are adult cases. Scottsbluff County also recording 7 new recoveries, Morrill County with 3 new recoveries, and Dawes County with 4 new recoveries. Through Wednesday evening, the Panhandle has seen 447 positive cases, 6 deaths, 398 recoveries, leaving 43 active cases. Those include 37 in Scottsbluff County, 3 in Cheyenne County, and 1 each in Dawes, Dual, and Morrill counties. Well, Wyoming is putting $7.5 million of CARES Act funding towards college grants for people who are out of work or underemployed because of the coronavirus. Adults aged 25 through 64 who are unemployed or underemployed because of the pandemic may qualify, and Governor Mark Gordon says the grants will also help workers get new skills and boost their careers. State officials plan to announce a start date for applying for the grant money soon. Gordon, to date, has allocated $710 million of the $1.25 billion in CARES Act funding allocated to Wyoming. And the Oregon Trail Community Foundation awarded a $2,500 grant to the Friends of the Bridgeport Public Library towards the purchase of a laser cutter for the technology studio. With this addition and advanced technology, the library will be able to assist the public with maker camps, community projects, and the public's individual interest and ability to grow in the technical world. Bridgeport's new laser cutter is designed to use a wide range of materials to engrave, etch, and cut out with a software program to design, and the laser machine will complete the work. Well, straight ahead, Chris Cottrell in with a check-in on sports. We'll have that in just 90 seconds here on KNEB.TV News.
Exceptional care, right here at home. That's the mission of Morrill County Community Hospital. Morrill County Community Hospital is a 20-bed critical access hospital that owns and operates clinics throughout Bridgeport, including specialty outreach clinics and Morrill County Home Health Clinic, as well as Chimney Rock Medical Center, located in Bayard. Our dedicated team is committed to you and our community every time at Morrill County Community Hospital, Bridgeport, Nebraska.
As farmers make plans to return to their fields for spring planting, we urge farmers to be alert to the dangers of working near overhead power lines. Electricity is one of the most overlooked, yet deadly hazards of working on a farm. Beware of increased height when loading and transporting equipment on trailers. Avoid raising the arms of planters or cultivators or raising truck beds near power lines. So let's take extra caution this spring planting season. This message brought to you by
Roosevelt Public Power District, your touch-tone energy partner, the power of human connections.
Home buying is filled with decisions. Neighborhood, floor plan, fenced yard. Make one choice that's easy. Start with Fnbo first. We'll guide you home. Home buying is filled with decisions. Square feet, fixer-upper, room to grow. Make one choice that's easy. Start with Fnbo first. We'll guide you home.
Now, sports from the FNBO Sports Desk. FNBO, the great big small bank.
We're back on KNEB.TV this afternoon. Chris Cottrell with you here at the FNBO TV Sports Desk. Glad to have in studio with me head football coach over at Scottsbluff High School, Judd Hall. And, of course, earlier this week, the disappointing news for Scottsbluff High and the football program that Colorado made the decision to move high school football to next spring. So, Coach, that presents some issues for you because you had a Week 1 game scheduled on the road at Fort Morgan and Week 4 on the road at Sterling. Let's start with that Week 1 game. Got to be tricky, probably tough to find an opponent this close to starting the season when it's already Week 1 and everybody kind of has a schedule.
Yep, we've reached out to a couple area schools that are also had Colorado schools on their schedule. Been turned down by one school already, but we still have feelers out to another area school. So we'll wait and see what they decide to do. And then we're also going to wait for OPS to make their decision. They have some Class A schools that have OPS opponents Week 1, and if they decide to delay their start to August 31st that I read yesterday on Twitter, that might be an opportunity for us to schedule a Class A game week 1. But we're willing to play anybody, so it doesn't matter whoever's out there. If they lose a game because of a quarantine issue with the team, or if you drop somebody off your schedule, we're going to be beating the phones down to try and find an opponent for our kids week 1.
Scottsbluff ready to travel, willing to play whoever might become available with a week 1 opportunity. Now week 4 could be probably a little easier to find a game. It just might take a while because you're probably going to have to wait and see who's run into a trouble spot with COVID, whether it's a community or a school or a football program. And shoot, you might not even know until midweek, the week of, that who you're going to play then. It's just a lot of chaos.
Yep. So it's a great year to worry about yourself, to control what you can control, prepare the best that you can offensively, defensively every week. So it might be a season where you're doing a lot of basics, but you're really good at the basics. So, and then have some stuff ready game plan wise for every opponent, but really worry about yourself and get those basics down and those fundamentals really shored up this year.
Talking with Scottsbluff head football coach Judd Hall today on KNEB.TV, worrying about the basics and being good at what you do. That sounds like that's right up Scottsbluff's alley.
Yep, and that's, our seniors have been running our offense and defensive schemes since they were in 7th grade now. So I think it's a benefit to us in a situation like this where you don't know. You might lose a guy to a quarantine issue midweek, or you might lose him Friday morning as you're getting ready to get on the bus to go to a game. We just don't know what's going to be in store for us. So I think having a system in place, having kids familiar with what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish, is going to be a benefit for us this year.
What about protocol? Do you even have any idea how things are going to be handled if you get a kid with a positive test or something inside the school building, whatever it may be, or is that still to be determined, or what can you tell us about any sort of protocol right now?
I don't know those protocols as far as what it would do to our team. I think that's a Panhandle Health decision as they get those test results and they kind of go through their investigation of each case. I do know the safety precautions that we're taking to try and put our kids in the best position. We've been doing those all summer in the weight room, on our bus trips, and at our camp. So I think our kids are becoming used to those. There's going to be a few more things that we're going to have to adjust to as far as staggering locker room times, what groups can be in the locker room at the same time, and then what groups start practice at the same time. So some things that we have to iron out and just go over protocols with our kids. But our kids are ready to play, so I think they're willing to do whatever we ask them to do in order to be on the field on Friday nights.
Back-to-back appearances in Class B state championship games, oh so close last year. With those type of seasons have come some pretty historical graduating classes. You lose 8 absolute ton of big names from last year. Do you feel that the lower level kids that have watched all that success breeds success? Do those kids now feel the need to have to live up to the bar that's been set?
We've talked a lot about if a coach asks you this summer, what are you doing? Your response should be, I'm doing my best. So if we can get our best out of every kid, I like where we're going to end up. And if every kid's giving us their best effort, their best ability at each position, I like where our team sits. So we're just going to continue to work to get the best out of our kids. And our current seniors are 24-2 in their varsity time at Scottsbluff High School. So I think success does breed success, and I think they're hungry and they're ready for their turn to have it be their team.
And kids know the score. They know that maybe people aren't looking at them as maybe being supposed to be as good as maybe these last couple of years. So in a way, they can kind of go from the hunted and put themselves in the hunter shoes, and that probably makes you feel pretty good about Scottsbluff football being a hunter.
Yep, we'll take whatever role people want to label us as or give us. I think our kids are excited to compete, and that's the most important thing. So if it's a game we're supposed to win, if it's a game we're not supposed to win, I think our kids are ready to compete, and that's a good position to be in.
Fall practice starts on Monday. What are the goals for your program for week 1? Whether it's something new this year with everything going on, or if it's the same as every other year, what are you trying to get accomplished early?
Conditioning, get our feet underneath us, our legs underneath us, and then we want to throw everything at them in week 1. So we want to have our whole offensive playbook and our whole defensive scheme in week 1. We want to overload them, and then week 2, week 3, as we continue to go on, dial it back and really focus on what we want to accomplish each week.
finishing up with Judd Hall, head football coach at Scottsbluff. Coach, get you out here on this one. You know Danny O'Boyle, the new head coach at Gering. He was on Scottsbluff staff a few years ago. A lot of folks at Gering know Danny already, but what kind of head coach does the Gering football program now have?
I think they have a really good head coach. I think they have a kid or a guy that's going to pour his heart and soul into a football program. So he's going to be a guy that excites the kids to play football. I think he's a guy with a lot of football knowledge, and he's a guy that cares about kids. So if you have those components, I think you have a great guy. And just knowing Danny personally, and from when he was on our staff, he's a great guy. I've been on the phone with him numerous times this summer, bouncing ideas off each other. So we've already have a great relationship started as far as head coach to head coach, but more like friend to friend. We can bounce ideas off each other, and I'm sure that week 9 when we play each other, it's going to be a war. It's going to be business. But for the other 8 weeks of the season, I anticipate calling him and bouncing ideas off of him, and he can call me anytime. And it's a great friendship to have in the coaching ranks.
Man, you love to hear that. That's good stuff right there, and wishing both programs the best as we get started coming up on Monday. Time to play some high school football. Scottsbluff will be out on the practice field, and we'll look forward to stop by and catch up more with the Bearcats as fall camp moves along. Coach, thanks for stopping in, and good luck as you get started next week.
Thank you. We appreciate the help.
Our pleasure here. KNEB.TV. We'll step away. Ryan Murphy back with more right after this here on KNEB.TV.
Small business, you're the engine that makes our communities thrive. That's why we're with you, providing more for you, so you can focus on what matters most. Small business, you're the engine that makes our communities thrive. That's why we're with you, providing more for you, so you can earn more, save more, and do more.
Take your career to the next level with Chadron State College's online Master of Science in Organizational Management program, taught by experienced professors who care about your success. CSC offers 3 flexible options with its Master of Science degree: Human Services, Natural Resources, and Sports Management. With CSC's history as an education leader in the classroom and online, you'll have a solid foundation as you take your career to the next level. Chadron State College, real people, real results. Learn more today at csc.edu.
When it comes to helping local folks with the loans and financial advice they need, we don't horse around. Our only goal is to help you and your family achieve your financial goals with the right loans and savings products. So if you want to bank with people that care about you and your financial needs, stop by or give us a call. First State Bank. We're big on you. Member FDIC. Online at fsbcentral.com.
Well, let's take a look what's happening on today's community calendar. That's a look at today's community calendar, brought to you by First State Bank, honoring those who give back. Nominate your community champion at fsbcentral.com.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want you to plan for tomorrow while you enjoy today. With our personalized trust and estate planning services, our trust services can help you do just that. When it comes to estate planning, you should seek professional help. And when you do, you should have confidence in the financial institution you choose to handle your trust. At Platte Valley Bank, we pride ourselves in keeping our trust operations local and serving our friends and neighbors. We offer a highly personalized, full line of personal trust and estate planning. Give us a call today and see how our trust services can help you.
And finally tonight, as the start of the fall 2020 semester rapidly approaches, Western Nebraska Community College officials have updated their safe operating protocol guidelines to allow students, faculty, and staff a safe transition back to on-campus instruction. Beginning this Monday, all students, faculty, staff, and patrons will be required to wear a facial covering while in open areas on all 3 of WNCC's campuses, including classrooms, labs, common areas, and restrooms, but not in personal workspaces, offices, or resident hall rooms. Health and Safety Coordinator Josh Vesper tells KNB News staff has considered numerous scenarios in their planning.
It comes down to what can we control and what can't we control, I think. And so I feel pretty good about everything that we've done so far. You know, we've put things in place for athletics, the classroom settings, the residence halls, our community education programs, for our staff and faculty.
Students and employees will be asked to self-monitor for COVID-19 related symptoms and should not report to campus for work or class if they feel ill. And an all-electronic screening process will be made available to employees and students to allow easy monitoring. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you here next time.